Boolean keys. Sometimes in data, we need number keys. If you have a number key, it is easy to access because later if you write loops through looping, we can easily get the number and we can access. So here in object type, data is always structured, good structured. So whenever you are dealing with structured data, then object is the best. But sometimes we need structureless data. Structureless data means one key is number, another key is string, another key is boolean. We don't have like that here. In object, all keys are string type. We cannot have any other type of keys. Another problem is another problem with that is issue. Why? Because you cannot have keys of other data type. So it is a schema based data, structure based data, actually structured data. Schema means well formed structure. Schema means structure. Schemaless means structureless. So it is structured data. It is the structured data. Now, important here, when you are dealing with object, we learned some object manipulation. Suppose how to read all the keys. To read all the keys of an object, we have to use object.keys method. We saw object.keys, a method used for reading all the keys. How to remove any key? By using a delete operator. We need a separate delete operator to delete a key. How to verify whether key is present or not? By using in operator. In is again a explicit operator. That means actually it uses all explicit methods to handle manipulation. It uses all explicit methods to handle manipulation. All explicit methods it uses to handle manipulation. Means everything you have to handle explicitly by using external objects. That is the reason it is slow in interactions. It is slow in interactions. So it is slow in interactions because it uses all explicit, so it is slow. So what are the problems with object is all keys must be only string, and all manipulations should be handled using external methods, properties and all. So this makes interactions will be slow. So it is slower in interacting when you are dealing with an object, but it is very good for what kind of data? Structured data. If you want data in a well structured way, then this is the best. So we have a solution for this. We have a solution is, instead of object type, we can use map type. We can have a map type. Map is a new type of data JavaScript introduced from ES5 and higher version. What is the specialty of map type is? Map, it is a key and value collection. It is a key and value collection. Similar, same like object. But what is the specialty is here, key can be any type and value can be any type. Key can be any type and value can be any type. So it is structureless, schemaless. It is structureless. So that means later you will see working with structureless data while working with databases and all. You will see in modern programming, we use a lot of structured, semi-structured and structureless databases. So structureless databases are good in certain occasions, but they are not good in analytics, reporting, relationships and all. But individually dealing with this type of data is fast. Why? Because what is specialty of map is it provides all implicit methods for handling manipulation. It provides all implicit methods for handling manipulation. So it is faster when compared to object. It is faster when compared to object. In interactions, it is more faster and better when compared to object. So map type allows to handle key and values where key can be any type, value can be any type. But in object, keys must be all string, values can be any, right? So here, what we can do is syntactically, we have where data is equal to new map. We can allocate memory for map. When you allocate memory for map, data have methods like set. Set have a key and a value. We have a method like data.get. By using key, we can access. We have data.remove. By using key, we can remove. We have data.clear. We have data.has. So we have data.size. So what is the advantage of this is all implicit methods. If you want to find whether a key is present or not, we have a method called has. If you want to remove a key, then we have remove. If you want to find how many keys are present, then it have size. It has so many actually. So we have data.keys. It will return all keys. Here detail I will give. So adds a new value, reads the value, removes a key, removes all keys. So verifies, check, or you can say check for a key. So actually it is a boolean, true or false. So returns count of keys, returns all keys, values, it returns all values, entries, it returns all keys and values. So you don't need external methods. Suppose I want to read all the keys from an object, then I have to use a for in or object dot keys like methods. They are external methods, separate methods we have to use, but these are internally available, just like array, just like string. Map have its own methods for handling the data, so that makes map fast. But what is the drawback of map? The drawback of map is it is not structured. The map is not structured. It don't have proper structured data. It is structureless. Actually, structureless data is very much used in various occasions. So non-relational data is always structureless. Relational data is structured. In your database backend and all, you will understand. You will learn about structureless databases, structured databases and all. So actually, what is the concept of map is to maintain some structureless data, right? Actually, you see online, you'll find a schemaless data database. So many schemaless databases are there. Schemaless databases, schema-free databases. One popular you will learn. What is that? MongoDB is one popular one for that. MongoDB is a schemaless. Actually, you have a non-relational databases. One list is there. Somewhere I got the file. Connection strings.com. Okay. These are all actually databases. That means these are all the databases used in the world. For different reasons, different databases are present. In this, some are structured, some are structureless. And lot of data we need structureless. These days, they are very much popular also. Why? Because you see, suppose I will tell you one simple example. Later in databases, you will learn about it. Suppose we have a registration form. In registration form, user have to fill 20 fields are present. In those 20 fields, so eight fields are mandatory and rest 12 fields are optional, means not mandatory. Now our developer have to design a table to store the data. Now for how many fields I need to design the table? Table must be for all 20. No, it should be for all 20 because we are not sure who will fill how many. One person fills 8 details. Another person fills 12 details. Another person fills 20 details. Now, is it possible for a table to handle this kind of data? No, no chance. MySQL, Oracle, these kind of databases, they can't handle this type of data because their every row should contain same structure. Every row should contain same number of fields, same data type. That means it should be structured. But I don't want that. Suppose one user fills 8 fields, store only 8. One row, 8 columns, another row, 12 columns, another row, 20 columns. Is it possible like that? It is possible. That is possible through structureless, schemaless databases. These days we have such databases. Schemaless, structureless database allow that. In one row, For one person, 10 records will, 10 columns will be there. For second person, 8 columns will be there. For third person, 20 will be there. It can change. That is called structureless. This kind of data is very important. Why you need this kind of data? Because these days developers are not writing for database. Developers are writing for business requirements. We call this mechanism as ORM, Object Relational Mapping, that you will learn in databases. When you learn databases, you will learn object relational mapping. This helps the developers to write for business requirements, not for database. For example, if I have to store this data into this table, do I need this table ready? That means the question is, if table is not present and the user is filling the data and submitting, can it store? There is no table and user is filling a form. Database is not ready. Our developers still haven't designed it. Now user fills the form and submits. Can it store the data? It can store the data if it is ORM. You may be thinking like, if table is not there, how it will store the data? It can create the table. It can create the table. It can add the fields according to client requirements. This is the modern generation of database. This mechanism is ORM, object relation. We call modern, but it is 14, 15 years back technology. Still we are in modern. That means that's not a new concept. So already we have this 14, 15 years back, we are using this. But now it is very, very popular. Earlier just started ORM mechanism, but now developers will not write for database. Developers will write for business requirement. What is the specialty is, even if database is not ready, your logic will work. How my logic will work without database? This logic can create database for you. It can create database for you. It can add data for you. It can create tables for you. Everything it will generate dynamical. So structureless data is required for handling the interactions like handling the concept like ORM, object relational mapping. So developers can concentrate on business requirements instead of data. You write for business, it will automatically map to the database. That's all you will learn in database ORM mechanism. You will see that also when you learn MongoDB and others. You will see practically happening. Means you will see that you will design a form. You will connect with database, but the database is not designed. But you know by which name database you need. You know by which name table you need. You know what fields you need in a table. You write all that in the logic. It will create everything for you. That means developers just write the logic, everything is generated. That is the mechanism of ORMs. So here schemaless data plays the key role. So to handle such data, we have a new data type. What is the data type? Map. But it is not great every time, because in majority of situations, we need structured data. Because structureless data is difficult in analysis, reporting, analytics. So data science, data engineering, data analytics, this all majority depends on structured data. Structureless data is difficult, right? So usually these days we are dealing with a lot of structureless data also. In that case, this map types becomes good, but majority our data is structured, right? If you want to deal with structureless, then you can use a map. That means how do we create that here? Just I'm giving one simple example here. So this is a map. Okay. Just a script. How do we configure a map? So where data is equal to new what map. And actually into that we need to store something. Then data dot set. Map is a key value collection. Set the key and value. You can see key is any type, value is any type. We have any type keys, any type value. Earlier key must be only string, but now key can be a number. And in that you can store anything. Suppose I am storing a string, some Samsung TV something. In the next one, we have data dot set. Next data can be little different, any completely different. That means suppose next data is some mobile and it is having an object, mobile and comma, it is having an object. So object contains price. So object contains rating. That is again an object. You have like rate. So 4.5 count some 500. Like this, you can have different kinds of data. This is completely structureless. There is no relation. One data is having ID number, key is number, and the type is string. Another is having a string and type is object. There is no structure. These are called structureless. JSON is fully structured and majority data we expect structured. Because structured data is good in certain occasions, structureless doesn't require much. For example, you see, if I don't need many relations and all, then better you go with structureless. For example, Netflix people use structureless data like MongoDB. Netflix. Now tell me in Netflix what data you need. We need data about movies only. Movies, TV shows, movie name, show name, timing, author, director, crew, cast, something. Do I need complex relationships there? I don't need any relationships. Only simple queries will be there. Like with this director, how many movies are there? With this uh, genre, how many movies are there? Those kind of simple relationship. There are no much complex relationship. Then for such kind of data, this MongoDB structureless, schemaless data is okay. But you need data analytics, reporting, so data science. So all these are predictions. For them, we need good relational data, good structured data. For them, we will go with Oracle, MySQL, and other structured data. So depending on the situation, it's not that MongoDB and structureless data cannot analyze the data. They will, but which one is better in analysis? Structured. It is better in analysis. So technically, this is structureless data. Then how do you access it? Just like what document.write, I want to access the second one. What is that? Data dot what? Get. What is the key name? Key name is what? Mobile. Then it is going to get that and display what is in the mobile. It is an object. If it is an object, then how do we access it? We need to access the details. Suppose I am using the price. That means it is going to display the price. Right? That means now another point is we need to know what data type it is. Based on that we can access. Suppose I want to read all the keys, all the values. Then you have options like what is it? I will use a for var item of We will use data.keys. What data.keys? I will use console.log item. What data.keys? It will return all the keys there. That means I will use document.write. Document.write. So it is going to print all the keys. So I will put a BR. That means you see it returns all the keys. One key is what? That is another break. One key is number one, another is mobile. I want values. Values means it will return all the values. Second one is again object. If it is object, again you have to use an object dot keys. We have to read all those keys, right? Now you say entries. Entries means it will return both keys and values. What is the key and what is the value? So you can have any kind of data, array, object, any kind of data. But what is the good about it is easy, faster when compared to object. In many interviews these days, they ask this question. We have seen this question in MNC interviews of React and Angular. In React.js and Angular questions of experienced people, we have seen this question. What is difference between a map and an object? Difference between map and an object, both are key value collections. Then what is difference? So object is string type and map is any type. Key can be any type. Object is slower in interaction because it is structured. So this map has faster interactions. It is structureless and it have implicit methods. Object completely depends on only explicit. They don't have any implicit methods. Everything external methods. How to remove a key? How to remove a key? Just what you have to use dot data dot what delete. Delete a key name, right? So here we can use clear, we can use remove, we can use has to verify whether key present or not. All internal methods, right? So when you are dealing with structureless data, you can try this. So later when you learn MongoDB and all, you will come across with structureless data and structureless APIs also. We can try those APIs and use the data, and there we will use a map, how to handle the map. So examples later you will see about them, how to use, because for that we need such data. If we have such data, it is easy to handle. We'll see later that. But one concept you should know, that map is better than object in certain situations, but it is not great every time. We have another data type called set, but we are not using it anymore because it is not recommended to use sets anymore. So earlier we used to use that. Set is another type, and even today several websites, channels will show you about set data type, but that is an outdated, deprecated, not recommended by ECMA officially. So they say that better than set, you either use a map or an object. Actually, same like map, we have a data type called, so we have a data type called set. That means what you can do, where data is equal to new what, you can use a set. You can use a set. And what data dot set, it will provide methods. Same, add will add a key and value. Clear will remove, delete will remove. Entries, has, keys, size, values. Set is also, you see, when you are adding, here also you see it is adding a value. It doesn't have a key. It doesn't have a key. Keys are nothing but index numbers. Index numbers will be like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then this is not much satisfying. Why? Because we already have a key value collections. and even array has a default key properties. That's the reason what we don't recommend this any much. So much we don't recommend this. These days we are not using. Earlier we were using that. In old JavaScript we used to handle this. But we have better solution for that. That means majority you use either array or you use an object. Key value collections with structureless means map. Others not required. So this is there, but we don't use much these days. It's almost, you can say deprecated. It's not recommended anymore, right? But just you should know that there is a type called set. So we have two types. One is objects, another one map. Next important in the data types, we have another important is date and time type. In JavaScript, how to handle date and time. As I told you, we are still in data types concept. After data types, when you learn statements, operators, we can use all these types in different examples. We can implement them. So now what is date and time and how to handle date and time in JavaScript? Handling date and time in JavaScript is not simple. It is little complicated. Actually, suppose I want to store a date. So where departure, I want to store date. Date, generally how you store a date. If I put a double quote and I write like today is suppose 2002 2025. This is not a date, it is a string. It's not a date type, it is a string type. That means it may look like date. You can print also like same string date, but it is not allowed with any date manipulation. Date manipulation means I want to know which weekday it is. I want to know in which week of year it is. Suppose you have manufacture date. I want to know how many days after manufactured. These are all not possible. We can't do any date manipulations. Why? Because it is not a date. It is just an string type. Then how do you store date? Suppose you remove this double quote, it's invalid. You write some slashes, that's also not valid. That's not valid. You put in quotes, it's a string. You leave it like that, it is invalid. Then how do you handle the date and time? For that, what JavaScript does is JavaScript JavaScript provides a date constructor. JavaScript provides a date constructor. Date constructor. It provides a date constructor. So it allocates memory for date and time type of values. It allocates memory for date and time type of values. So if you can store date and time type of values so that you can easily manipulate. Actually, so departure, we can allocate memory. So new date, we can allocate memory with new date. Actually, what happens is syntactically, where some DPT, suppose new date. If I write like this, what will happen is it loads current date and time into memory. It loads current date and time into memory. It loads the current date and time into memory. You want specific date and time. You want specific date and time. That means you can initialize specific date and time as a string in date constructor using following format. What is the format is year, year, month, day, hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds. Like this, you can define the date. The date format must be in this way: year, month, day, hours, minutes, seconds, and milliseconds. You can initialize specific date and time as string in date constructor. That means what you have to do syntactically, var departure, new date, year, month, day, hours, so minutes, seconds, milliseconds, like this. We can set up the date and time in this way. And always here we have some functions. We will see what are the functions, how to access them. You can just put the date, or you can set both date and time, or just time type of values. We'll see time also. Actually, so we have a time constructor. There is no time constructor. There is no a time constructor. Time is not there. So you have only the date constructor. In this, we can handle both date and time. You see, while typing, you see there is a 3/5. You can see this kind of tips will come. What does it means is nothing but there are 5 overloaded versions of it. 5 overloaded versions means you can use this in 5 ways. You can use the function in 5 ways. Currently, it is third of 5. You see, what are the 5 ways you can use is when you open that, you can use up and down arrow. Up and down arrow to change. Actually, this is the first format. What is the first format? So value string date. That is the first format. That means date must be in which format? String. So another one, second one is it is var date. So another one, it is empty. That means don't enter anything. By default, it will take something. And fourth one, it says value as number type or string type. Number type value or string type value. That means I will show you. We'll see. Next one, you see year number. Year number. You see year number. After that, month index. After that, date number. And all are separated with commas. Hours number, minutes number, seconds number, milliseconds number. All you can write with comma, 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 comma. We can write with comma. But for that, first you need to learn what are those numbers, month number, index number, how you get them. That means simple point is you can write this date in 5 ways. One is just date. It will load the current date and time. Date with some value. Value can be a number or a string. Or you just enter several values like year, comma, index of month. Month index usually starts with 0. 0 is January. 1 is February. 2 is March. Like that. So usually you can enter in any format you want. And technically, if you don't enter anything, by default, it will take current date and time. First, we will see document dot write. So departure, and you can see it is going to print the date and time. It loads the current date and time. Automatically, it will take the current date and time. So I'm not mentioning any date and time, it will take. Suppose I want to mention specific date. Date always, already we learned in HTML date element. Always it must be year, month, day. That already we discussed. So 2025, suppose month and day is 22. Hours is suppose 17, 30, some minutes, seconds, milliseconds. Milliseconds you can have 0 to 99. Now when I save this, you can see it will get that specific date and show. Milliseconds are not shown to you. It will show up to the seconds. So hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds, you can enter. You can have specific date, time, or you can just put the current date and time. If you don't give, it loads the current date. If you want specific, you have to enter in this format. That is the format. Now, actually, to display date and to display date and time values, JavaScript provides following methods. It has so many methods like get hours, get minutes, get seconds. We have get milliseconds. So get day, get date, get month, get full year. So we have some more like to date string, to local date string, to time string, to local time string. All these are important. So get hours, get minutes, get seconds, get milliseconds. And unfortunately, the problem is all these results are numbers. Then if you want to show date in a custom, your own format, it's not possible. That is another big issue with these dates. You have to construct your own format, or you have to depend on third party libraries to handle dates. That means showing date is not a easy thing in JavaScript. Not only JavaScript, any JavaScript technology. Even React Angular like technologies also cannot show date in a proper form. So that means those technologies also have to depend on some third party to show the dates and manage the dates easily. It's not easy. Why? Because all these will return a number. And these string formats are not according to your requirements. They have default. Suppose you see Hours, what it will return 0 to 23. Minutes 0 to 59. Seconds 0 to 59. Milliseconds 0 to 99. Day, day is weekday number. 0 means it is Sunday. Weekday number 0 starts with Sunday and 1 is equal to Monday, like that. Get date, date number 1 1 to 28 or 29 or 30 or 31, depends on month, right? And month will return month number. 0 is January, 1 is February, like that. They will return month numbers. Full year means year number will come. So two date string, two local date string are nothing but they display predefined format for date and time. Date string will display long date, locals will display short date. Time and short time, they are string, but they are still not satisfied. Why? Because you see now, suppose I want to print the departure, then I'm using departure dot to date string. When I use to date string, it will show like this. I want to local date string, local date string, then local date string will display like this. Now I want to date string, then it will display in this way. But I want complete February 22. I want different order. What is different order is, suppose I am giving some weather. So we are looking at the weather. Then what weather it should do? It should show like this. That means it should show in this format. But our date in JavaScript don't have that format. I want full name Thursday, Friday, but JavaScript can't show. But I want to show full name Monday, Tuesday, but it cannot show. Then usually how you will show that? There is no way. You have to write logics for that. That means you are saying that to show date in a proper way, I need a logic. Of course, you need a logic. JavaScript don't have a solution for that. You need to write a logic for that to display in your own format. What is the logic? I will show you. Means how do you write the logic? Because you see now, actually these formats so are not so clean in displaying. I will copy this first. They are not very great. Then see what I am doing here. I will write here document dot write. Okay. I will put some binding expressions here. I want date like 22 February. So that means I want, suppose we say weekday, like Thursday, 22 February. First weekday I want. How to get the weekday? Departure dot get day. It will return weekday. That means from the date, it will return the weekday. Okay. After that, I want date number. How you will get the date number? That means I want like again a binding expression departure dot get date. It will get a date number. Will get a date number. Okay. Next what? After that, I want some comma. After that, I want month name. How do you get the month name? So you have departure dot what? Get month. but get month. See, after that space, I want year number. So then what I will do, departure dot what? Get full year. Get full year. And you see that it is going to show the date in this format. It's not reasonable. It's not any reasonable, right? So that is not reasonable. It's not showing any reasonable thing here. Now, how do you display properly then? That means all are returning numbers only. Then how do we display properly? I need to implement some logic. What is the logic? See, what I have to do is I have to create one weekdays array. This weekdays array starting with what? Sunday. So then what? Monday. Like this. You have Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like this. All these we have defined. Now I need to create. You can use two date string, na? But two date string will show a short format of date, not full. It will say FRI, MON, SUN. It will not show full format. So I will use another months array. I need to create months array. In that, starting with January. So February, March, like this. I have to write all of them. So you can't ignore April. So May. If you skip anything, that will not display. It will say undefined. May, June, July, August, like this. So we need to define, right? So August, September, October, and November, like this. December. Okay. And you see, after this, now what we need to do is, what is the first one? Departure day, get day. It is returning weekday number. I will pass that number into weekdays array. Into weekdays array, we will pass the weekday number. Then what it will do? It will show the weekday name. And into the month, this date is okay. So into this month, what we will do? Into the month, we will, this is month. That is actually month number. We will pass into months array. Into months array, pass the month number. Then it will get the month name completely. Order your wish now. You can shift any order you want. So that means month, left side, number. So suppose we see what get day. This get date, I will shift and keep it in the beginning. Now it will show like this. So we want in a different format. That means we have to shift in which format we want. So 22, suppose I want this here. I will shift it from here. I want here. So, and here I want, you can keep in any format. You can keep in any format. Hyphen, I want a separator. Then it will display that. This is how we construct date in our own format. This is the only way JavaScript have. There is no other chance. Even React Angular like technologies also don't have. They also have to follow the same technique, or we use some third party JavaScript libraries where they have written such logics and given to us. Already they written such logics, you can import them and you can use them. And the world's popular JavaScript date libraries, we have day.js, we have moment, we have Luxon. These are very popular JavaScript date libraries used by software developers to display and handle dates in front end. Any front end technology in the world don't have date related any built-in function. All you have to depend on third party. Any front end technology in the world which is JavaScript based don't have any option. They have to do in the same way, or they have to depend on these libraries. These are third party libraries which will write all the logic for you and give to you. You just use them. These are so many libraries. You see, day.js. Day.js is one library. This is day.js library. And what is this day.js is actually day.js. It is a JavaScript library. You see, this is day.js. This is a JavaScript library. And it is a JavaScript library for handling the dates. So they will provide you the documentation, how to use it, how it works, everything they will provide. There is another one like moment, momentjs.com. Yeah, this is another one. This is another popular library, and it is used for handling the date and time values in JavaScript. And it is very popular. Angular, React, like people also use this. How to use this? And they will give you the process, how to install, how the formats can be shown. These are third parties. At this moment, I am not showing any third parties to you. I am not showing any third party integration. You will learn in jQuery, Angular, React. Later, when you learn jQuery, React, you will learn how to use third parties. In JavaScript, we will learn how to build such third parties. JavaScript is to show you how to build them. That means they have built the library like that. You see, it is showing like this, different formats. How it is showing? Because they already written a logic. Into that you pass the value, it will print it like that. That we have done now, right? We created our own. That means you pass a date into this, it will print in that format. That means now you see, you change the date. We don't pass any date value into it. Then automatically it will take the current date and show. It will display the current date, the weekday, number, everything. If you use ready-made date and time functions, they have limited presentation. They cannot present exactly how you want. You have to implement like this. So this is all different types of date methods, date and time methods. But important is you cannot display in a clean format. For that, you need lot of logic. This is one example for that. Means how we write the logic for presenting date and time. That means we need to create one array for months, one array for weekdays. Sometimes one array for short weekdays, short months. Another array for long weekdays, long months. They give all that libraries. JavaScript libraries already written such logic, just you have to implement. So actually JavaScript, we have to write all such things and use. These are reading the date and presenting the date. Similarly, there are so many setter methods also. So JavaScript provides setter methods to set date and time values. It provides setter methods to set date and time values. Date and time values. To set date and time values, setter methods will be there, like set hours, set minutes, set seconds, We have like set milliseconds. We have set date, set month, and set year. Set year. Actually, we have two options. Huh? So we have departure dot set full year. And we have set year also. Set year is not recommended anymore. Actually, we have get year also. Get year, set year are there. But this get year is not recommended anymore. Alright, but it works. It works. So I will show you. Set year is not recommended. Huh? Here it is deprecated. Better always use set full year. Why it is deprecated also I will tell you. So these are setter month. Actually in get also we have get year, get full year. Get year is deprecated because actually we have get year, but I haven't given there. It is gone. It's outdated now. Why get year is outdated? Because actually we stopped using this from 2000 onwards. Up to 99 we used this, but in the year 99 we faced one problem called Y2K. Y2K is the largest bug in computer history. That means in the history of computer technologies, till now we faced some major challenges. World has faced so many attacks and world have faced so many bugs. And world's largest computer bug is Y2K. Y2K is the world's largest bug, computer bug. And this is the problem that comes with all software technologies in the world. Bug because see, like this, so many bugs came in the computing history, but this is the largest. You know, few years back, we had a bug called ransom. Ransom, if you heard about that. Ransom is one of the popular bug in the recent history of computing. Earlier, Y2K is the biggest bug. From there onwards, we stopped using that year, right? Y2K is nothing but actually it is related to date. So in 2000, this bug identified when the year 2000 was near. Actually, what happens is earlier dates will be like this. Suppose 12, that is month is December 31 and year is 99. Now, what is the next year? That means 01, that is January, another 01, that is first, and 100. Obviously, after 99, 100 only will come. Why 2000 will come? It is a number increment. Number increment means 1 increment. So 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. How come 99 after 99, 2000? This is the issue with this date. And every software technology in the world have to face it. That means this is the world's largest bug. Means every software have to update themselves from this date format. They have to change. And they have changed. Now, even today, this is available. But we stopped using it. We are using not year, we are using full year. Year means it will show according to Y2K format. That means suppose you see here, where is the year? Yeah. You see here, I am using get year. When I am using get year, it will still work. You can see it shows 125. 125 according to Y2K. So it still works. It will not show you in help IntelliSense, but it works. Because remember one, already I think I told you, in JavaScript, whatever JavaScript developed at the beginning of JavaScript, that option is still available even today. JavaScript improves every every few months, year, new version. And when they improve the new version, they never remove the old. That means at the time when JavaScript born, what is there in JavaScript, it is still there. Only the point is don't use. You don't use. It is still there. So that means it's still there. It still works, but it will be abnormal in behavior. You can't understand what it is. So old options are never removed from JavaScript. They are not removed. Generally, any software, what happens when they release a new version with new features, old deprecated things they remove. First, they warn for few years, saying that don't use this, but after that they will remove. But JavaScript never removes. It JavaScript kept everything in the same way because still legacy JavaScript is used in apps. Legacy JavaScript means old JavaScript is still used in applications. In that case, they don't remove any of the old feature. Only the point for modern people, don't use old techniques. You use old techniques, it will work. But don't use. Always use the modern techniques to get better performance. Better performance, right? So old options are never removed. You can use them, but it is not recommended. Full year is good. Then it will get you the correct. So old options are still given in several websites. When you are browsing JavaScript tutorial in some websites, when you see, they will give you some functions. Those functions are outdated. Those functions are outdated. Outdated means in modern JavaScript, we don't recommend. But still, you will see websites and YouTube channels showing you that. That is because for legacy apps, we need that. Old version apps, they need that. But in modern, they will not be good in performance. So always use modern techniques. In the modern generation of JavaScript, use modern techniques. That's the reason, when people come to learn Angular, React, Vue like technologies, they are already developers. They are already working in companies as front-end developers, 5-10 years experienced developers. And when in React and Angular like technologies, when we write some new techniques, they are surprised. Like, what is this? Is it a new concept? They ask. And they are 5-10 years developers already working on JavaScript, but they still work on legacy types. They are still working on legacy types. Now we need to tell them that, so for modern applications, it's not good. You please update to the new. That's why they are attending these batches, new classes. Why? Because they don't want the same old techniques to use anymore. They want new. So, and new have a good, better performance and some changes are there. So that is the reason. So you will never see any old option of JavaScript removed from JavaScript. It will be still working. Only the point you avoid using it, right? Always use get full year, set full year. Actually, there is get year and set year also, but better always use these two things. We can set the date. Suppose you see, I want to change the date. So before printing the date, what to do? Departure dot what? Set date. Set date to 21. Date number I am giving. That means it will set the date number 21 means it will change to Friday. Right? I want to change the month. Then what we have to do? Departure dot what? Set month. Set month to 3. 3 means it will be April, na? 3 means it will be April. Because 0 is January, 1 is February, like that. You can set hours, minutes, seconds, date, year, anything you can dynamically set. But for that, we have setter methods. By using setter methods, you can set. This is get and set. So how to store the date, how to access the date, and how to display the date. While working this date and time, we need one more concept. Another important is you need to know about, so timer events. You need to know about timer events. while working with date and time, you need timer events. Timer events. I will show the timer events. Remember, based on this date and time, lot of presentations are created. Presentations we can do in later examples. We can do. For example, you see, yesterday we designed, last session we created one weather app. When we created weather app, here in this weather app, user can search for some city and you can get the weather of that particular city. Now the point is here, the concept is I want to display some salutation here. Salutation is nothing but, what is the salutation is, I want to display good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How the salutation changes means at what time they open, that should come. Here I want to display the date and time. Here I want to display the date and time. Of course, we can display the date and time. How you can display the date and time? Suppose what you have to do, where to display the date and time is also important. After above degrees Celsius, above the temperature, here I will keep a div, and the ID I will give as a LBL date. Okay. Here I want to display the date and time. Then on search click, na, on search click or page load directly. Directly body on load. On load, what is it? Body load. So here we will write a function body load. On body load, I want to get document get element by ID LBL what date dot inner HTML. Here we want to display the current date and time. And see, first I am creating now is equal to new date, the date constructor, and inner HTML should display now dot to date string. I am using to date string. To date string means it will show the date here, Thursday, February 20, 2025. And this we will apply some class here. So class name font size for text, suppose text warning something. So margin white 3 or something. It will display like this. Text light I will give. Okay. All this I am displaying. But I want a full form. There is no way. Again, you have to create in the same format as I showed you. Means full means Thursday, February 20. I want to display. Now I want one more salutation like good morning, good afternoon. I want to display like that. That means you see, where is it? There is a search bar. Na? Yeah. In this search bar, I want to display the salutation again. In the search bar, I want to display the salutation. I will show you. Here it is coming. Okay. Here I want to display the salutation. Class margin top, and just roughly here I will put a label, label or span ID as LBL. LBL I want to say, so message MSG. So class font size as some 5, and font weight as bold, and text suppose we say white light. Okay. There I want to show the salutation also. That means I want to show the salutation also there. We need little bit more height. Okay. So 400 looks okay. Okay, now I entered the city. It is getting the details. And here I want to display salutation. Salutation is like morning, right? So how do we put the salutation here? So we need to write the logic for that also. where you can do here. How do you do that? First, I will access MSG is equal to document get element by ID. What is it? LBL MSG. Okay. How you will show the message? Good morning, good afternoon, so good evening. That depends on our number. We have to get the hour number. How to get the hour number? Now dot what? Get hours. It will get the hour number, and you need a condition. If hours is greater than or equal to 0, and hours is less than or equal to 12, that means what it is? MSG dot inner HTML, it should show a message good morning. Am I right? That depends on how you want to show good morning. Okay, otherwise else, if another condition, hours is greater than 12, greater than 12, and hours is less than or equal to, suppose, 17, 16, 17, 5, right? Then what it should show? MSG dot inner HTML is equal to what it should say? Good afternoon. Like this, it should display the message. You can put different icons also. We can add different icons also. Okay. Another option is there. Else, if another condition, what is it? Hours is greater than how much? 17. And hours is what? Less than how much? 23. Then we need to display MSG inner HTML, some good evening, something. You add all different types of logics, depends on the logic. And usually what happens now is when we want to display that on the load, it is going to show that, right? It is going to display that. So, and you change the time, it will change. As of now, current time, based on current time, na? Based on current time, it is going to show. Based on current time, it is going to display. What is the current time? So I want to display the current time also. So time we will put later because it should be ticking. For ticking, we need events, right? So here, what is the current time? It is 12:35 p.m. And in our logic, what you written? It is less than or equal to, so 12, and greater than 12 and less than 17. So here what we will do? We need to display afternoon. What is the hour number is having a problem? Uh, it is showing morning because greater than or already equal we given there. It is giving negative value. That's fine. Okay. So that is afternoon. You change automatically when time changes, this salutation changes. Every time it will not be same. It will not be same. So we are just adding that logic and displaying. You entered something, it will get that. Now, actually, in websites, what they do, different icons they give. Morning icon different, evening icon different. They can even change the background shade, background colors, background images according to morning, evening. We can change. Actually, suppose in icons bootstrap for morning. So morning is not there. Sun is there. Huh? Yeah, you can see. Suppose for morning, I want to show. For morning, I want to show like brightness alt high. For afternoon, I want to show brightness high, right? Then what you do? You can add those symbols also, na? That means in the morning, MSG dot what? Class name, BI. What is it? BI, BI, which one? BI alt high, alt high, like this I am adding. Okay, next what? If it is afternoon, msg dot what? Class name. Class name is equal to bi. What is it? Bi sunfiller. We have brightness high. Brightness high. Okay. For evening, we have another one. Means we can put images also. Just roughly, I will put these classes. What is another one? Brightness high fill. Okay. And you see, it will get those symbols and show. I need to add other classes also for that. So font size is for text as what? Light, because those effects will come because only one class is being applied. So we need to apply these classes also everywhere. Then it is means you can change those classes also. Colors we can change different and display depending on time. For example, suppose I give here hours, we are getting the hours. I am using now dot set hours. Set hours, I give an hour number as 8. Then what will happen? Good morning. Our number as suppose 20. 20 means it will show good evening. It will change. It will put different. So our number is currently 12 na, then automatically it is good afternoon. It will show this different salutation and display. Salutation we can show here. This is usually done with the logics, right? This is just an example of how we show different salutation before these events, the salutation. And why you need these timer events? Because suppose I want to show the time. How do we display the time? In the same, we can display the time also. Let's put the time here. Good morning, and I want to display the time. How do we use? Now dot to local time string. To local time string means it will display the time also. Everywhere use it. Huh? Good afternoon and local time string. Good evening, local time string. Then it will show the time also there. It will show the time. We are displaying the time, right? So suppose I added a break. So to display the time, then what it is going to do, it is going to show the time. But time is not ticking. It is stopped at 52. Why? Because at the time of loading, what time is there, it will get it and it will show it. That means when this time will update again, when I refresh, again it will update. It should not be like that. It should be ticking. That means it should, every second it should tick. Every second it should tick. So it should tick and get the details. It should tick and get the details. So heights. So we will remove this. It should tick here and it should tick and display that. That means what it should do is, so I will put the height also some 450 or 500 fixed. Okay, yeah. Now what it should do is it should keep on ticking. This time should be ticking. That means how the time can be ticking. That means every second that functionality have to perform. And for this, we actually need timer events. Timer events, you saw carousel. In carousel, what happened? Every few seconds, image was changing. How it is doing the work of changing image every few seconds? That means you need some timer events. We have timer events like set time out. We have clear timeout. We have set interval and clear interval. These are very important. So we have different timer events, set timeout, clear timeout, set interval, clear interval. These are the timer events. The timer events. And if you know these events, and we can control a lot of things in this date and time functionalities based on that. Lot of other actions also that we'll see tomorrow, right? Because this is the major in interviews also. Even for advanced Angular React like people in interviews, several questions are asked on this concept. So because this plays one key role in designing apps, and what is that you will understand in the next session. Tomorrow we'll do that. We'll discuss about how to use these events, right? Yeah. Yes, Kunal, what is your doubt?
Good afternoon, sir. Actually, in the JavaScript, for getting the data, we use like data formats like XML and JSON.
Can
We
you
have
can,
only two, sir.
can you share the error? What error is coming?
No, sir, error. No, I am asking the one doubt, sir.
What doubt?
In For getting the data, we use different data formats like XML and JSON. We have only two, sir, or we have more?
Only two.
Only two. Okay.
We have more other formats, but not required at this level for you.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Huh?
Okay. Okay. Actually, yesterday we explained about the fixed store, right? We can update the, we can modify the added data, sir, from coming from API, sir.
You cannot
Like,
modify the data.
okay,
That
like
is,
we have product name, no?
you
We
are
can
not the
style that.
you are not the owner of the data, na?
Yes, 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 sir. Okay,
If you
just
create your own
asking.
data, you can modify. If they give the permission, you can modify. Otherwise, you cannot.
Okay, and we use functions, functions, sir. In that we can give different names also, sir.
Now you can do everything whatever you want.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.